Well, David, here we find ourselves in Knoxville, Tennessee for the fourth stop on the Southeast Gassers Association 2018 Tour. And finally, we've got some beautiful blue skies and sunshine.
We do. Eastern Tennessee has really blessed us today with the Lord looking down on us, and we're here to celebrate a great man. Sunshine in the Smokies, a tribute to the Sunshine Express and Sonny Hall, our Sportsman of the Year in 2017 that we lost over the winter.
Well, Sonny Hall was such a sportsman, such a Christian, such a voice to this sport, and such a support of the Southeast Gassers Association. You know, we do miss Sonny without a question, but oh my God, do we get the opportunity to carry on with his presence.
And these guys here today are excited about being here for him and with the Southeast Gassers. I look to see some great racing action today, just as Sonny will be looking down on us. He'll want to see it too.
Wayne was talking to me on a text message yesterday, and he said, this could be one of our biggest events yet. And buddy, I tell you, it better be a big one, because we've had some great ones. But David, we know we got some serious racing ahead of us. Let's get on with it, brother. You're going to be in the tower. I'm going to be catching top-end interviews. Hey, we'll have to meet up at the end of the day.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go racing. Mitch, first round C-Gas highlights, bringing forth the winners here.
Doug Capps taking the win, David, over the Mighty Lady Chevy. Doug Capps sporting some shiny orange paint this year. Quite a polished job over the primer of last year.
And here we see Brian Higginbottom with Rick Cathcart in that beautiful Studebaker truck.
David, Rick taking the win in that Studebaker. As I said, that's just a fan favorite, and it's one of mine also. Pretty cool old ride.
Alan Barnes taking on Josh Pruitt, and that proves to be too much as the young blood streaks away in that fair lane.
Josh up to his winning ways as he has been last season as well as so far this year. Josh, I think, leading the points right now, if not very much in the top.
There's two beautiful cars right there. Tim Hall taking the win over Travis Owen right here. Travis in that beautiful Village Garage Born to Boogie car.
Travis, his first year racing with us, and I tell you, there's not a more perfect race car out there than that one of his.
And Kelvin Cannon taking the win over Gilligan here in this race.
John Gilligan, a past winner at Lyons, Indiana last year. Kelvin Cannon, also a race winner in the past.
Larry Noel just taking out one of our newcomers here, Johnny Rawls, in that 53 Studebaker. And I think that's going to be a car that we're going to see more of in the years to come.
Larry Noel may be a fan favorite, but I tell you, that Studebaker is a cool ride.
Another new one here, the Odd Rod of Kevin Shaw. He goes down to Alfred Adams in that big 55 Chevy.
And Alfred Adams just dragging it right on through in front of him. The truck just never really stood a chance against Alfred.
Here you see B.B. Brown going up against Todd Oden, and boy, that's a tall order right there. Todd Oden streaks away the 2017 champion.
It would appear as though Todd Oden came to Knoxville to win this drag race, David. He is just blister fast straight down the racetrack.
Here's a newcomer, Billy Edwards, taking out Nathan Cate, and Billy Edwards in that beautiful 55 streaking away down the racetrack.
David, you got to really love the orange window tint and stuff like that. The little Henry J over there having major steering stabilization problems.
Moving ahead into round two of C-Gas right here, presented by JLE Industries, Mitch. There you see Billy Edwards in that good-looking 55 Chevy. He's going to try to take on Rick Cathcart.
David, I'm not sure exactly what color that is on that 55 Chevrolet. It's some sort of an orange sherbet, but I can tell you I like it. And I really like those cool orange windows. It really sets the stage, sets the time frame for that 1967 era. Now, Rick Cathcart, that Studebaker truck, buddy, he better be able to miss you.
Oh, it looks like Billy Edwards turned on the red light right there, giving it over to the hometown runner out of Dandridge, Tennessee, Mr. Rick Cathcart.
And I tell you, that's a good win for Rick. You know, Rick has raced with us for the season, and he needs those points.
Good shot right here, just seeing him leave the line.
Rick Cathcart, round two in the books, brother. Knoxville Dragway up here. Billy Edwards just handed you quite a victory.
Yep, he did, and I needed it. Yep, he was tough, and I knew I had to get off on him, but he had problems, so I just had to take advantage of it.
I understand he went red. Doesn't matter how you win, just so you win.
That's it, buddy.
See you in the next round.
Continuing on there, Cynthia Phillips, who had a competition single in the first round because of Tony Zampata breaking. She gets the world champ right here. And there you see Gina Oden bringing Todd into the beams.
David, Cynthia may have had a gift in the first round, but buddy, believe you me, she will have to fight for this one. Obviously, I'm going to go with Todd here. He is just carries that essence around with him. he is a winner, no doubt.
You can see every time he shifts the gears in that big 58 Delray, that thing lays back in the back end. And Todd Oden streaks on to victory here in round number 2.
I think they need to put some caster wheels on the bottom of that back bumper just to keep it from dragging the ground. Don't you, David?
Yeah, it could be a good idea. There's Doug Capps in that Mustang. He's going to take on Alfred Adams right here, and that's going to be a tough matchup for Doug Capps.
That it will, David. Alfred Adams, a Rolling Dice 55. That is a really formidable race team. Those guys are winning rounds. They're doing very well. A strong running car. Doug Capps, yes, he's won races, won our inaugural event at Shadyside this year, I think it was. It's just, he's going to have a tough run here. No way.
I don't know what happened. Looks like he does not move and had some kind of problems on the starting line. And there you see Alfred Adams in that Tri-5 Chevy streaking down the racetrack. Don't know what the problem was, but here's Josh Pruitt next up. He will be on a single.
Josh Pruitt there again, David. This is one of those kids. Young blood says it very well for him and his race team. A good, focused driver. He is at the top of the points, if not leading the points, and with good reason. And
what happened there, it's just to clarify for all our people, is that Tim Hall had a breakage.
Josh, brother, you're starting to make rounds today on this race up here in Knoxville. 2 rounds in the books. Looking for third round.
We hoping so. The car ain't doing what we expected to do, but we limping in each round, so we hoping for the best. We had a fire. We had everything that could have happened. It happened to us, but we still here. So.
And our number 2 qualifier, Larry Noel, here today at Knoxville is going to have a bye run by virtue of being that number 2 qualifier. Let's see if he runs it out.
David, that's one of the things with, making these cars run strong in the qualifying rounds is because it can pay dividends if you have an odd number of race cars that show up or that enter for a given category. Larry Noel, no exception here. He's made him a good, strong run, trying to get a feel for what that car is going to do in the third round, and without saying, puts him one step closer to the final.
And there's our number 1 qualifier, who you did not see in round number 1 because he had a bye first round. Jimmy Huff in the Hoopty wagon, taking on Kelvin Cannon in that 53 Chevy.
David, there again, Jimmy, number 1 qualifier, bye run first round because we do have an odd number of cars in the CGS category. Kelvin Cannon with a major tall order to take this win, but hey, Huff is long gone, baby.
Yeah, and Kelvin got to feel bad. He really wanted to win this race for Sonny Hall. They worked so closely together. He described Sonny as a father, but just too much Jimmy Huff horsepower right there.
Jimmy Huff, buddy, I don't know what happened to you on that first round, but apparently you got it fixed.
It broke a rocker arm, and I didn't have an extra one. And the good thing is Larry Noel, which is number 2 qualifier, who I will meet up with, gave me a rocker arm out of his trailer to put on here to make it work.
And who was it you said gave you that?
Larry Noel. He had a big block Chevrolet rocker arm, which will work on the Cleveland, but it's not exactly right. But we put it on there to make it round with it.
Well, no wonder this car runs so fast. You just put Chevrolet parts.
Yeah, I hear you.
Good job, brother. We'll be looking for you in the next round.
Yes, sir.
Big ass highlights right here. There's Joey Precise getting put on the trailer by Todd Napier in that Atomic Hillbilly.
I tell you, David, Todd Napier and his clan from up there in Tennessee, they're in Tennessee where we're at. Keep forgetting sometimes. Those guys are making some horsepower here the last few races.
Great finish line shot right there. Dean Harris and James Beard, 2 great looking cars. James Beard, unfortunately, going to get the loss right here as Dean Harris brings that gray ghost out of retirement.
You can see Dean Harris' car moving around. He was putting some horsepower right there.
And there's an old alley cat driven by Michael Walters. He's taking out Birch on a hole shot.
That is news. That's newsworthy right there. I'm going to tell you, the Birch brothers generally don't lose, and they really never lose on a hole shot.
Look at the finish right there, and it took that hole shot for him to win that race. Danny Bird and Doug Dobbins right there. Doug Dobbins, big points battle with Bird. He just drills him in that Medicine Man. Don't know what what happened to him down low.
Danny was having some issues with traction. I could see that. His car's spinning pretty bad.
Tim Bailey and Zach Hall right here. Tim Bailey going to put the homegrown back on the trailer to Blumpville, Tennessee.
David, the 57 Chevrolet looking good. I like those wheel stands and all that, but in this case, it didn't win a race. Now, David, what have we got in that lane over there?
Well, what we got over here, Mitch, is Todd Blackwell putting Lance Yoakum on the trailer early here at Knoxville. A-Gas round 2 right here. Dean Harris got a monumental task taking out his neighbor, Todd Blackwell, right here in that slingshot.
David, these two gentlemen live just a few miles down the road from one another, probably less than a couple of miles, I'm going to say. And they've driven all the way to Tennessee to compete in this manner. This is not a first time for these guys. These is two good race cars, and this is going to be a good drag race. It should be close. I mean, you know, both Dean and Todd, these guys, they work on these cars, and they're both strong cars, and off to a good start. This should be a good one. Dean, a little bit out of the groove.
A little bit out of the groove, and that proves to be too much as Todd Blackwell in that slingshot takes the victory right here. And check out our JLE Industries starting line camera right here. You see Dean Harris might have had him out of the hole just a little bit, but that par horsepower pulls away at Dean.
Todd Blackwell, you may not be the king of B-Gas, but you are definitely the king of the Chevy 2.
Yes, sir. I think we got to buy the next round, so I believe we're in the finals already for the Knoxville race.
No doubt about it. That certainly sets you up for a bye round next, which puts you straight into the finals. Like I said, I think you've beat every Chevy 2 on the grounds today.
Thank you, sir. We're going to do our best taking home another trophy tonight.
See you in the finals.
Next matchup right here, Todd Napier, Oliver Springs, Tennessee, is going to take on Michael Walters in that car that used to be the Alley Cat, but look at that beautiful paint job. Papa's Wild Willis on the side.
That is one good-looking hot rod, David, no question about it. And controversy over there on the other side, Todd Napier in the Atomic Hillbilly. You know, David, as I was saying in the first round, those guys have stepped up. I don't know what they've done. Maybe they've put some nuclear medicine in that thing. I don't know. But what I do know is that car is going down the racetrack.
And going straight, too. I know they've burnt the midnight oil a lot up there in Oliver Springs. And Todd Napier comes through with a win here in round number 2. Look at that starting line advantage right there. And he just carries it all the way through to the end.
He did. It looked like it was pretty well stuck all the way down, about the same distance.
Southeast Gassers fans, there's one thing about Todd Napier. Even when crippled, he's still winning drag races. Todd, what happened? A cramp in your leg or something?
Yes, sir. I went into fourth gear and I pulled a Charlie horse, and I just held it in it, and then when I kicked that neutral, I just had to coast. I couldn't push the clutch in no more. I had to walk to the start. I had to walk back.
There again, ladies and gentlemen, nothing like I said. You set up for the third round. I suggest you go massage that leg.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Moving around along, Tim Bailey in that new Corvette called an Alley Cat 2. Going to take on Campobello's own Doug Dobbins in the Medicine Man.
David, if I'm betting odds here, I'm going to go with Doug. That car has started to come into its own this year, finally. New power plant, was talking about it earlier. In one of the earlier races, had some issues, but I think they finally found that program. Now, Tim Bailey, the Corvette, gorgeous race car. Really love these body styles in this Gasser category, and the car is running strong, but Doug is just running really strong.
Yeah, Doug takes the win right here, and you see that Medicine Man getting a little out of shape. Good starting line view presented by JLE Industries, and what a good drag race of two former world champions right here.
Doug Dobbins, I tell you what, buddy, this Chevy 2 is serving you proud today. Let me tell you, you taking out some tough guys.
Yeah, earlier today I thought about loading it. I'm glad I stuck around. She's coming around. She's coming around good.
Well, like I said, I mean, you know, your first round pairings, now your second round pairings. I mean, hey, it looks like this thing ought to be set up for the final.
A whole lot better with that paint job and that.
Yeah.
That race car.
I don't know what to say, Mitch. It's, I mean, man, this thing is shaving numbers off like this.
You say thank you, Jesus.
Maybe the driver. I don't know.
See you in the next round, brother.
Round 1 highlights of A-Gas. There's Steve Davis taking out Ernie Smith, the hired gun in that Henry J.
Steve Davis coming on the scene with us last year. This old 55 Chevrolet, 56, I'm sorry, and A-Gas, and doing really good with it.
Alan Galden out of Land O'Lakes, Florida, taking out Barry Lynn. Barry leaving before the tree.
Got that big red apple, and that ain't New York, baby. That is a ticket to go home.
Here you see the white trash, Anglia Donovan Stott, the defending world champ, taking on Earl McLemore in that 58 Morris Minor.
And that Morris Minor, if there's a shorter wheelbase car out there than Anglia, it would be that Morris Minor. And he could see the way that thing was going down the racetrack.
And there's Todd Oden in that 56 double down with taking on JT Moses right there. and Todd Oden streaking away to the victory.
256 Chevrolets doing battle in Knoxville, Tennessee. If that ain't back in the day, I will kiss your tail.
And speaking of tail right there you see the shaking bacon. Troy Lightman taking on Shannon Smith and making a move toward the center, and Shannon moving on to victory, putting that hiney on the trailer.
Troy's race was over the starting line with that red light.
Look at Ben Christopher, number 2 qualifier. Oh, big move to the center line. He goes over the center line, and that gives Tony Turner the win.
Both cars moving to the center line at the same time with Ben crossing the center line, but it looked like those two guys were trying to give each other a hug or a kiss or something out the window, David. That is some true gasser drag racing right there.
Brother, it's a good first round win for you going into the second round, Knoxville, Tennessee, my man.
I won?
You won.
I thought I crossed the line.
He crossed the line.
Woo! We finally made it past the first round.
Moving into round 2, what great emotion by Tony Turner right there as we see Kenneth Phillips, our points leader in that silver streak, doing a big burnout. He's got his hands full this time with Steve Davis. He called him Paw Spinney.
David, Tony Turner, he's just a great old guy. I mean, he's just one of the coolest competitors we got, and I like seeing him make rounds no matter when, how, or why. Now, as we was talking earlier, Paw Spinney here, Mr. Davis at 56 Chevrolet, he's had some good races, but I'm telling you, he is up against Mr. A-Gas for 2018 so far. Kenneth Phillips in that Silver Streak Corvette is one awesome combination.
And there you see he just tattoos him right there on the starting line. Great shot from the JLE Industries cam, and that whole shot was just way more than he could handle.
And that race was over after the starting line, believe you me.
Kenneth Phillips, brother, I tell you, I don't know if you aware of this or not, but you just prepared yourself for the third round of a possible two-race win today.
That's what I'm after. I was glad to get this one down, and I got one more or two more?
You got two more, bro.
Two more. I'm ready.
Well, I believe you're telling the truth. The old Corvette just ain't making no mistakes. We'll be looking for you in the next round.
All right, thank you.
Look at the smile on his face as the next two come in. Our 2014 world champ Shannon Smith in the Pale Rider, taking on two-time and defending world champion Donovan Stott in the White Trash Anglia.
One thing I like about Kenneth Phillips, David, is it don't matter win, lose, or draw, you still get that pearly white smile out of that boy. Now, right here is an age-old battle, believe you me. Donovan Stott, Shannon Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up, turn up the volume. This right here is a classic Southeast Gassers drag race if we've ever had one.
Shannon Smith taking the win right there. Might have had just a baby hole shot, if any. But, man, look at this JLE Industries starting line cam. Just a baby hole shot for Shannon.
David, I remember looking back at the numbers on this. Donovan had the slightest of hole shot margins.
Shannon Smith, brother, I tell you what, that is second round in the books. You're set up for third round. Taking out Donovan Stott, last year's champion. Could be a cakewalk today.
There ain't no cakewalks no more.
Both wheels in the air.
That wasn't a cakewalk. Next one won't be a cakewalk. One after that won't be no cakewalk. Ain't no cakewalks left in that Southeast Gassers.
Not even.
No, it's not easy, but it's good. Good company.
Not even a little light chocolate cakewalk.
No.
It's all tough.
All tough. Send me to the scales, Mitchell.
Shannon, you might want to go to the scales. See you next round.
Good interview there, Mitch. Our next two coming up, Alan Galden in that frequent Flyer 61 Corvette, taking on the Southern Flyer. So a couple of Flyers on the line here.
This is a battle of the Flyers, David. A Corvette against the Ford Falcon over there. Classic Ford Chevrolet battle. Chevrolet Ford power, respectively, under the hoods of each car. The frequent Flyer Corvette, Alan Galden, these guys are from down in Florida. Very good race team. A whole lot of talent over there. Phil Robertson, I'm telling you, an absolute encyclopedia of knowledge. Gabriel Burrell has got his hands full. It goes to mention that Falcon has been on a royal tear this year. And I tell you, this is a drag race right here.
Alan Galden pulls it out according to the wind light, but man, that race is just nip and tuck. Galden with a little hole shot there. Let's see what this. Man, look at that, Mitch.
I got to tell you, I am so proud of Gabriel being able to run that close to that kind of talent on the other side of the racetrack.
Alan Galden, it looks like the old frequent flyer may be just coming back around.
She's coming around slowly. We got lucky on that one.
Well, you know, you took out Gabriel. I wouldn't call that luck by no means. I'm sure that was a good drag race.
Woo, that was really good. I seen him out the window the whole time, and it looked like he was in front of me.
Apparently he was not. We'll be looking for you in the third round.
Thank you.
The double down 56 of Todd Oden out of Leeds, Alabama, going to take on Cumming, Georgia's Tony Turner.
Tony Turner making a couple of rounds here so far today, David. He's got him a tough competitor over here, Mr. C-Gas, or I guess it was D-Gas last year, world champion Todd Oden in that now A-Gas 56 Chevrolet, better known as Double Down. Vinson Race Engines power you see big on the tailgate of that thing. Trust me, there's a lot of somebody's power in that thing.
Two good-looking leaves right there, as we'll see in our next shot. Todd Oden's going to streak away to victory and put Turner on the trailer. Look at them, get them wheels off the ground.
Tony's car really, retrospective of what that A-Gas category should be.
Todd Oden, I am so glad to see you with a mustache on because, as I said, it was becoming confusing as to who I was interviewing because it was the same guy all the time.
Well, this is Mustache Todd in the A-Gas car. that wasn't the greatest pass in the world, but we got through it, and I'm just proud to still be in.
Well, I'm proud that you're in, but I don't know that I can deal with a mustache that much.
Well, you know, hey, I can't help all this beautifulness right here, you know.
I know it. For those of you who may not be aware, Todd wins all the time, and then he moves into A-Gas, and now he's running two cars, A-Gas and a C-Gas car, and I told him at the first race of the season, Todd, you got to do a mustache or something so that at least I feel like I'm interviewing somebody new. I see you've taken me up on my word, and we'll be looking for you in the next round, bro.
Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate it. See y'all guys.
C-Gas right here, presented by JLE Industries here from Knoxville, Tennessee. Rick Cathcart burning out in the other lane in that Studebaker, and there you see Lester Oden getting Todd ready, striking the hides in the right lane.
Looked like Todd might have been about to run over Lester's toe there the way he jumped back, David, and that's something you wouldn't want to happen with that big 58 Chevrolet. You'd leave a flat toe for sure. The troublemaker Studebaker pickup truck. I tell you, I hope he can make some trouble on this round. Todd Oden doing double duty, C-Gas and A-Gas. Quite a challenge for Todd, but he is no other way to call him but a professional drag racer. I'm sure if anybody can handle two categories, he can. Rick Cathcart in that Studebaker truck. Looked like he had to leave on Todd.
But that horsepower in that 58 Delray is just going to power by as Todd Oden here in the third round has put him on the trailer.
That's right. Rick Cathcart can load that truck up and go home. His day is over at the hands of Todd Oden.
And here we see Larry Noel coming up in the right lane, going to take on Alfred Adams right here.
56 versus a 55. This is just a good classic drag race. Nothing outside of the ordinary here other than the fact that Southeast Gassers Association is far from the ordinary. Now, this is just representative of what you would normally see at a Southeast Gassers race. Two classic Tri-5 era Chevrolets, big block in one, small block in another, 4-speed transmissions, gear shifting, good drag race all the way down with Larry Noel taking the win.
Larry Noel and that crazy horse gets everything straightened out and lets the bit loose as he puts Alfred Adams out of competition right here in third round.
Just hearing from the staging lanes, Larry, you'll have Jimmy Huff for the next round. Buddy, I tell you, you are working your way very close to another final round appearance.
Well, we hope to make it to the final rounds, and I actually loaned Jimmy Huff a rocker arm to help him make the final round, so maybe it's my turn for a little goodness.
Well, that's what he was telling me a little while ago. He said that he borrowed a rocker arm from you, and he started to explain that Chevrolet rocker arm would work on that Ford. So I said, so that's why you're running fast. You got Chevrolet parts.
Got one anyways. One cylinder's running good, so hopefully we got enough for him.
Final pair down the track, a couple of big blue ovals right here. There you see our number one qualifier, Jimmy Huff, taking on the young blood, Josh Pruitt.
David, Ford fans, come alive. That's all I can say here. I know you're one of those blue oval guys, so you should be happy with this one, David, because win, lose, or draw, a Ford is going to go on to the final round. Now, Jimmy Huff is at the top of the points. So is Josh. This is a critical round for both of those guys. Who's going to be the victor of this? Who's going to walk away with the most points? Jimmy Huff.
Jimmy Huff and that big Cleveland right there. A little trouble off the line. But, man, up on the big end, that horsepower really comes singing out of that hoopty wagon.
Yeah, Josh drilling him on the starting line, but Jimmy just powered right on back by.
Moving into the semifinals right here. Here's another huge matchup with points implications on the line. Jimmy Huff taking that right-hand lane as he has all day. He's going to take on Larry Noel out of Aiken, South Carolina.
David, if I am not mistaken, Larry Noel at this point in time is at the top of the Seagas point standings as we are. Now, this is extremely critical right here for both of these guys because this can certainly establish what goes on for the rest of the year. When you can maintain a tight lead, or not to mention take over a tight lead, that really gives you momentum.
You see the two cars leave together. Jimmy Huff takes it on to victory right here, so he'll move into the finals.
And doing it with borrowed parts from his competitor, Larry Noel, nonetheless, Dave.
Isn't that such a great story right there?
Jimmy Huff, I know you and Larry Noel's good friends. There's no question of that, but I'm assuming you still used his parts to outrun him.
Still used his parts to outrun him. He asked me up there, he said, do I need to take them back? And I said, if you won't want to get outrun.
Well, you know, that's one of the things about the Southeast Gassers, brother. We are family no matter what it is. So congratulations. We'll see you in the finals. We'll see how it turns out. We'll be waiting for you then.
There you see Todd Oden taking a bye run right here by virtue of being the number 2 qualifier in a 21-car field, and Todd is just going to take the light on a leisurely Saturday afternoon drive.
David, you know, the 21-car field is good in the fact that it shows a healthy car count for Seagas, but it's bad in the fact that it produces a number of competition singles throughout the day, Todd Oden being the recipient.
Todd Oden, brother, I tell you now, just so everybody knows, this is Seagas Todd Oden. You had an issue with the A-gas car up there, I understand.
I think we broke a motor and the broken engine and the water burnt out. I think it came apart. It had a real heavy vibration. I cut it off quick as I could, but yeah, I think we hurt the engine.
Maybe it was the mustache.
It might. That guy was driving that car. That probably did it. I'm gonna blame him.
Getting down to crunch time, Mitch, in the semifinals of B-Gas, Todd Napier going further than he's ever gone this year, taking on Tim Bailey.
David, you might be watching this at home thinking, why Tim Bailey? I thought he lost. Tim Bailey is up here in place of Doug Dobbins by virtue of the fact that Doug Dobbins failed to cross the scales, and with the Southeast Gassers Association and the extremely strict rules that guarantee fair racing, if you don't weigh and prove weight, you do not advance. That was a mistake on Doug Dobbins' part. He just simply didn't cross, so he was thrown out. Tim Bailey put back in his place. Good drag race developing here. This is too close to call.
Tim Bailey looks like he took the W right there. Look at that car move toward the center line. You see Bailey with a handful of wheel and trying to grab second gear. Napier may have gotten him on a baby hole shot, and there's the finish line telltale story where Tim Bailey takes the win.
Tim Bailey, brother, the Alley Cat Corvette is maybe starting to pay dividends to you. I know that you're here by a foul up on Doug's part, but hey, it doesn't matter. You're here.
And I hate that worse than anything because Doug and I are real good friends.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason I pulled across the scales up there when you were speaking with him. I said, Doug will see me on the scales and he'll stop. He went right on around me. I said, golly, come on, Doug. He had so much trouble today, though, with his car. And, you know, but
like I said, brother, you know, it doesn't matter how you get here, just so you're here. So
I've lost 2 minutes this way, so every once in a while you need to get one back.
Absolutely. This is just taking a withdrawal out. But anyway, I'm sure you know you got Todd Blackwell in the final round.
For the second time today.
And in the other semifinal, there's Todd Blackwell with a competition single. Todd was our number 1 qualifier, and by virtue of that, is reaping the reward here in the semifinals.
That is exactly right, David. It pays to be the bad hombre on the racetrack on race day. Number 1 qualifier walks him straight into the finals.
A-Gas semifinals, the kings of the sport. And Mitch, here is a matchup that I've been waiting for right here. Battle of the early 60s Corvettes. Kenneth Phillips in the Silver Streak 2 with that Fulton horsepower, taking on Alan Gaulden out of Land O'Lakes, Florida with that Stevie Schmidt horsepower.
Steve Schmidt, that is, David. And I tell you, those two cars backing up there down that racetrack, those two Corvettes, that was just quite the view. It's so perfect for the A-Gas category. Those body style Corvettes so dominant in the gasser categories back in the day. Kenneth Phillips here, I tell you, Silver Streak, again, I'm going to put my money on him. The boys over there with the frequent flyer, they're having a little bit of engine problems that Phil Robinson was telling me earlier that they know what it is, but they can't fix it at this event. Not taking anything from Kenneth, because Kenneth is on a tear and currently leading the points, and it is, in my opinion, he's planning on winning the points.
And he wins this round right here, and he takes out Alan Gaulden, and a big win it is to vault him into the final round. Here's a great shot right here. Alan Gaulden going in second, but Kenneth Phillips leaving first.
Sending them boys back to Florida with their tail between their legs.
Shannon Smith going to take on Todd Oden. Oh, goodness. We see a big puff of smoke come out of Oden's car as he starts it up.
It wasn't off of the tires either, David. That was coming out of the exhaust. Something just come loose in the Oden 56 Chevrolet.
There you see the crew jumping around over there. Lester Oden looking underneath the car. Looks like it's going to be terminal right there for the double down as you see them pushing that car back off the line, and Quayne Stott signaling forward that Shannon Smith will have a competition single.
This is a bye run, David, not to be corrective to you. This is a bye run because Todd Oden broke, and it would have been a great drag race.
I'm not going to say that was a gimme win, but that was a gimme win right there.
Yeah, it was.
It's unusual for Todd and his dad to have any kind of trouble, so if I was you, I'd just say that's a good one. I'm going to apply it to the finals.
Well, yeah, I didn't want it that way, so I went ahead and put it on the mat and tried to make something for the fans to watch anyway.
Well, like I said, brother, don't matter how you get here, you hear it's going to be you and Kenneth in the finals. Should be a pretty good matchup. Two good race cars.
Pretty good matchup. That's a good one, Mitch.
Well, I said to him, I would have to think the Corvette, being a lighter, smaller car, got an advantage, but hey, stranger things have happened.
Well, I'm going to let the kids ride with me on this pass. They don't get to go much, and I've got room for everybody. Take the old school bus back one more round.
Southeast Gassers Association for 2018, the decision was made to include the super stock category from the day of drag racing. One of the things that was the true breeding ground of professional drag racers back in the day was that category of super stock. It grew into pro stock, and all of these things come from these super stock days, and these cars are so cool. We're talking old Ford Fairlanes and Plymouth wagons, things like used to have push-button automatic shifters on the dash, but not anymore, because it's all 4 speeds, and it's all about leaving on that tree and shifting these gears and getting these race cars down the racetrack. Now, mind you, these super stock cars are not the easiest thing out there because we're on very small tires. Traction is a very important key factor, and as you watch these cars, you will see that taking place. So keep an eye out for super stock. Southeast Gassers Association, one of the most exciting classes that has ever been brought to this category of drag racing, and actually one of my favorite.
Super stock finals right here. We've got Robert Pepley in the left lane in that 4-speed Stampede, and Mike Wyatt in the Soul Sacrifice here, Mitch.
David, again, just talking about the super stock cars over there and what they mean to me, and really what they mean to drag racing. Everything drag racing emanated from the stock and super stock classes. Don't care how you want to slice it. Every single thing in drag racing today emanated from those two classes right there. It is so cool to watch these old cars with their slapper bar suspensions, nothing trick. This is just the way they rolled off the showroom floor.
Mike, brother, I'm going to tell you, the old Soul Sacrifice, I keep up with you and this thing on Facebook all the time. I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to have the Super Stocks with us. This is y'all's second event, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Second time with the Southeast.
Second time.
And this is your first win, am I correct in that?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations, brother. So we'll be looking for you for the rest of the races this season, and I'm really hoping this becomes a full-blown class next year.
Oh, me too, man. It is a blast getting to race with you guys. Can't wait for next year.
Paul, Nick, now I understand it's run before. Y'all just took singles because y'all wanted to prepare for this all-out battle for the finals. And in the process of that, they making bets up here in the tower. So, Paul, you've been with us the longest, so what's your take? Is the Volkswagen got it covered, no problem?
Sure.
No.
Why not?
Why not? Nick, now, I'm an old Chevrolet guy. Big 6 in a row will go, they say. So what's your thought on this?
I'm going to try to give it to him, leave on him early, and hope he never comes around me.
Well, I'm going to be watching to see. So I'm curious. I'm just going to take it completely in the middle right here, not casing no bets.
And there you see the matchup in the right lane is going to be that sauerkraut Paul Combast in the 37 sedan, Chevy sedan in the left lane of Nick Rule.
David, the 2 engines couldn't be more different, and 2 cars couldn't be more different. The Volkswagen built on small, flat, 4-cylinder air-cooled. The big Chevrolet over there built at a time when size didn't matter, with a big, heavy, straight, water-cooled 6-cylinder. And I'm going to tell you, I believe the little bug has just won.
Here we are, Mitch, C-Gas Finals time. There's our number 1 qualifier, Jimmy Huff, with that big Cleveland under the hood, taking on Leeds, Alabama's own Todd Oden, the C-Gas World Champ.
David, this right here is a crucial pairing of drag racing for C-Gas Finals. Jimmy Huff has the opportunity to pass Larry Noel for the points lead because they are currently tied. Todd Oden back in the way just a little bit. I think he's maybe 4th or 5th right at the moment going into this final round. Todd being last year's champion, you know that he wants to move back up there. This is going to be critical. Jimmy Huff needs this round more than any round he's ever won in his racing career in the Southeast Gassers Association, and just the opposite is for Todd Oden. He don't need Jimmy to win. Here they are. It's fixing to unfold. Let's see what happens.
Looks like to me Todd Oden, there's Todd Oden. Does he get him on the line? Maybe a baby hole shot.
I got to tell you, that's a win for Todd Oden right there, because I really had my numbers on Jimmy Huff.
History has a way of repeating itself, and for Todd Oden, his history in C-Gas is remarkable.
I love me some Knoxville. I love it. My first win right here last year. I am so happy to get back to victory lane. We have worked so hard, and it's just good to be back. It's good.
So this is where the slaughter began, right here last year.
This was our first win, and I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled. It's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rest of the C-Gas contention, if last year was any indication to this year, look out. We'll be seeing you next. And Todd, congratulations, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Mitch, this B-Gas Finals presented to you by JLE Industries is going to pit Todd Blackwell in that slingshot versus Tim Bailey, in that Alley Cat number 2.
A lot of names to get tongue-tied here, David. Now this end, David, it's going to be a good final round. I'm not sure exactly what the points are right here. I do think Todd Blackwell is out in front, maybe fairly strongly, somewhere in that area. But the point is, this is Tim Bailey. He's finally got that Corvette into the final round. New car for him this year. Tim Bailey being a past championship winner, past race winner, but not with this particular Corvette. Now, this is really good deal for Tim Bailey, because it's starting to give him the trust and the belief in that this Corvette is going to make him a good race car. So if he can get past Todd Blackwell, I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to be on cloud 9, because this is one tough opponent to try to outrun. And it's just, right now, I got to give it to Todd Blackwell. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a drag race. Clutches out, down the racetrack they go, neck and neck. This is Southeast Gasser style drag racing with Todd Blackwell taking that win.
What a great run right there by Tim Bailey, giving Blackwell everything he can handle in that slingshot, and one of the few people to be able to do that. Look at the finish line there as you see Todd Blackwell takes it by about a half a car length.
Come on out of there, Todd Blackwell. I tell you, buddy, what a day it has been for the Slingshot Scenic Tool crowd in Knoxville, Tennessee today. You win the rain-out race from North Carolina. Now, the most difficult thing to accomplish in racing is 2 wins in one day. Brother, congratulations. I know the good Lord is just patting you on the back today. Congratulations.
Amen. The good Lord, He is good. That's a double header. What more can you ask for? We went one of them, taking on both trophies today, and I about gave that one away. I missed third gear right there. I'm having a little bit of problems. I don't know what's going on here, but we had to take a look at it. But we still had enough to pull it on through. So
we won't let Tim know that you won missing a gear. That may really hurt his feelings.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
A-Gas Finals right there. There he is. Kenneth Phillips, been hot all day, all year for that matter, Mitch. Going to take on Shannon Smith out of Landrum, South Carolina.
David, Shannon Smith coming back to race with us after a year or so hiatus, focusing on business back at home. Kenneth Phillips, we may be looking at the kings of the Southeast Gassers Association as a category, but I'm telling you right now, Kenneth Phillips is the king of A-Gas. This car is on a mission. He is driving it with absolute perfection, leaving the starting line just nothing to chance. I tell you, it's unlikely, it's unusual to see a car with that kind of performance gain taking a gamble on the tree as Kenneth does. And maybe I shouldn't say gamble because he cuts it so close every time. Kenneth is just that kind of guy. He come here to win this race, and I think his position here is, I'm not going to leave nothing to chance. Staging battle going on. Shannon is not going to upset Kenneth. I can tell you that right now. One of the coolest guys we got on the circuit.
But trying to do so, and now going in last is Phillips. There's the lead, wheels up in the air as Southeast Gasser loves that. And Kenneth Phillips is going to streak away in that silver streak to victory.
David, that is 2 race wins in a row for Kenneth Phillips today, as we had to do the makeup for the Piedmont, North Carolina race here in the same day at the same racetrack. That right there, man, is a happy, happy man.
I tell you, Kenneth Phillips, the Silver Streak Corvette, if it ain't been Christopher, you putting on the trailer in the first race today, now you got Shannon Smith. This thing just doesn't have no mercy on nobody.
That's right. That's what I wanted to do today, was double up, and boy, that put me ahead in the points. So that's what I was shooting for.
There's no question you have got a tidy lead on the points. I think that your mission is very solid in getting that underway early in the year and using that to carry it on through the finals all year long.
That's what I'm going to do, yeah. I come in second last year, I think, and this year I'm trying for first.
For those that don't know, Kenneth is what I guess I would call a professional swimming pool installer, and I have brought it up to him. I propose that he put a swimming pool at every racetrack we go to. So if we win the points this year, could we look for that next year?
We're going to look for that next year, see what we can do.
Ladies and gentlemen, pull for Kenneth. I would really like a swimming pool.
Knoxville, Tennessee did not disappoint here, Mitch Stott, as we had some action in a very hot, blistery day, tricky racetrack, but we saw some great racing action out of all 3 categories in Southeast Gasser Racing.
I think everybody here is going home with a bit of red tint to their skin because, brother, it has been hot. But what about the crowd? I mean, they come out here, David. I don't know if many of them knew they was going to get 2 races in one or not, but irrelevant to that, this hot weather. But, man, they was here. Large number of people, record number of race cars I think we had today. It's just a great show. 4th stop on the circuit. Man, it is great.
Well, Mitch, as we always do, let's take us out of here in prayer, and I'd like to do that if I could at this time.
You do it, brother.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you so much for the grace, mercy, and love that you've shown us in all the things that we've done in our life, Lord. Let us always be a beacon of light for you in this world that we live in, that wherever we go and wherever Southeast Gassers take us, we can shine our light to the world, Lord. Thank you for Quayne Stott and the hard decisions that he has to make sometimes in the running of this association, as he had to do many times. We thank you for his leadership, his guidance, and his anointing that you lead him with, Lord. For it's in your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Amen.